These days, kids can figure out that there was a time with no computer, cell phones, and other mobile devices. Every day we use our cell phones for communication or entertainment, and we think that we can't live without these technologies. We communicate with others using cell phones, chat rooms, forums, email, and e-learning. So businesses also use computers and the internet not only for marketing purposes, but also for gathering and storing information about their products and their clients. We sometimes no longer rely on paperworks, cabinet, and books because of the impact of the ICT. So in this lesson, we will tackle the history of computers. The different period of ICT evolution. The pre-mechanical age ranges 3000 before Christ to 1450 Anno Domini. The mechanical age from 1450 to 1840. The electromechanical age from 1840 to 1940. And the electronic age, which is 1940 up to present. So let's first tackle the pre-mechanical age. The earliest age of technology has been dated back to the pre-mechanical age between 3000 before Christ and 1450 Anno Domini. Human beings at that time primarily communicated with each other using simple pictures and drawings. Cuneiform is the first writing system. The Egyptian papyrus is like a thick paper that is made from papyrus plant. It was used to record information and messages. And the abacus, it was the first calculator, and it is used to perform basic mathematical calculations. So number systems are still developing. So let's have an overview on how to use abacus. So the beads below here are called earth beads, while the opposite is called heaven beads. The value of each bead in this group is 1. So this group is 4 because there are 4 beads. Next to 1's values is tens. So this group is 40 because there are 4 beads. And so on, hundreds and thousands. So the value of beads in the heaven beads are 5, 50, 500, and so on. So when we do the calculation like addition, if we add 5 plus 2, just put the 5 near to the beam, put it there, this part, and the 2 beads of ones, put the 2 beads near to beam to get 7. Another example is if we add 6 plus 10, so put the 5 near to the beam and 1 from the ones near to the beam because it's 6 plus 10, and also 1 bead from the tens to get 16. So there is 1 bead here from 10, 1 bead from 5, and 1 bead from ones. So the total is 16. So that's the basic function of abacus. During the mechanical age is between 1450 and 1840. Several machines are invented. The mechanical age is the first age that bridged our current age to our ancestors. Use of machinery and tools are booming. New technologies were developed in this era due to an explosion of interest in computation and information. In this era, the term computer is first used. It is used to describe people who works with numbers. The notable computers are the slide rules, the Pascaline, Leibniz machine, difference engine, and Jacquard loom. William Oughtred is an English mathematician and Anglican clergyman which invented the slide rules. His original design of some time in the 1620s was for a circular slide rule, but he was not the first into print with this idea, which was published by Delamain in 1630. So the center of the slide rule is movable. The center part of this instrument has the capable of sliding, and it will give answer to the mathematical computation. You should study how slide rule works because it might be included in the quiz. The Pascaline was invented by Blaise Pascal in 1642 and was known as the arithmetic machine. He constructed this machine or mechanical calculator which is capable of addition and subtraction. Pascal invented the machine for his father, a tax collector, and he built 50 of them over the next 10 years. So example, if we add 25 plus 13, ang 5 sa 25, so diri ni mo ibutang ang 5, and diri ang 2, iset ni mo siya, diri ang 2, tas diri ang 5. Then, pag-add ni mo sa 13, so pag-add ni mo sa 13, magsibog ka diri og 1, tapos diri is magsibog ka diri og 3, then ihatag na dayon na sa machine ang answer niya dinhi diri sa gamay nga rectangle. Stepped reckoner was invented by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in 1672. It was an expanded idea of Pascal. Stepped reckoner did multiplication by repeated addition and shifting. Leibniz was a strong advocate of the binary system. Binary numbers are ideal for machine because they require only 2 digits, which can easily be represented by on and off states of a switch. Jacquard loom, invented by Joseph Marie Jacquard, played an important role in the development of the earliest programming loom, which is the Jacquard loom. It is an automatic loom controlled by punch cards. These looms look a sequence of cards which holes in them. So this is the Jacquard loom as you can see in the image. Charles Babbage. Charles Babbage is considered as the father of computing. He built 2 engines, the difference engine and the analytic engine, that was known as the greatest breakthrough of our way to the modern computer. He first built the difference engine. So that engine is made to compute values of polynomial functions. It was created to calculate a series of values automatically. By using the method of finite differences, it was possible to avoid the need for multiplication and division. So after the death of Babbage in 1871, half of Babbage's brain is preserved at the Hunterian Museum in the Royal College of Surgeons in London, and the other half of Babbage's brain was on display in the Science Museum in London. During the time of the electromechanical age between 1840 and 1940, the beginning of telecommunication emerged. The discovery of ways to harness electricity was the key advance made during this period. Knowledge and information could now be converted into electrical impulses. The beginning of telecommunication. First, the new method of communicating information was discovered with a voltaic battery. This discovery continuously provided an electric current to a circuit. Afterwards, the telegraph was invented that allows the transmission of information by coded signal over distance. Morse code was a system built to communicate with others by breaking down the alphabet into dots and dashes, transformed into electrical impulses, and transmitted over the wire. Shortly afterwards, the telephone and radio were invented, followed by the discovery that electrical waves travel through space and can produce an effect far from the point at which they originated. In the electronic age, from 1940 to present, so the evolution of information technology and the development of computers have been grouped into 5 different stages or generations. There are the 5 generation from 1940 to 1956, the second generation from 1956 to 1963, third from 1964 to 1971, fourth from 1971 to present, and the fifth generation is from present to the future. The first generation is the lowest level programming language. It can perform operations but only limited to one problem at a time. During the first generation, computer systems used vacuum tubes. It consumes thousands of vacuum tubes. It consumes a lot of power, and it generates lots of heat. And the size of the computer in the first generation is very large, and it is expensive. So as you can see in the image, this is the whole computer. So it is made of vacuum tubes. It is not portable because of the size. So this man is replacing the bad tube. So ENIAC is an example of first generation of computers. So ENIAC or Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, this is an example of first generation because it is the first programmable general-purpose electronic digital computer built during World War II by United States. In the second generation, vacuum tubes were replaced with transistors. Each transistor is composed of 40 vacuum tubes, which is smaller and faster and cheaper than the first generation, but it still generates a lot of heat. It still relied on punch cards and printouts. ICs or integrated circuit were developed in the third generation. IC chip contained 1,000 of transistors. It used operating system. Users interact through keyboards and monitors and interface with an operating systems unlike to the past generations. So this allowed computers to operate many different applications at a time with one main program to monitor and store information. So in this generation, it made the computer smaller, faster, and less expense than the second generation. In the fourth generation, microprocessors were introduced. It is a single silicon chip that was built with thousands of ICs. Language software products such as Word for Windows and Access were also introduced. And this fourth generation, small computers became popular and spread worldwide networks, handheld devices, and finally, the internet were developed. So this is what we are now. We use different language software. And the fifth generation is based on the artificial intelligence, and the development of this generation is still ongoing. So the speech recognition, learning, planning, and solving problems are some of the activities that are being tested and performed. So these are the computers now. In conclusion, information technology has been in existence for thousands of years and has been evolving since the beginning of time. And it is still developing up to now. Human beings have been collecting information in different ways and discovered different forms to communicate through the use of technologies. Information technology has been essential to our lives, yes, and has made a huge impact throughout history. So without it, we wouldn't be here today. with our latest and advanced technologies.